Okay, Phil, Chester on Saturday then. Back-to-back games actually at Pims Park. Chester on Saturday, Macclesfield on Tuesday. Last time that happened was Radcliffe and Bedford down here at Pims Park, and that was the 3-0 win and the 3-1 win. We could do with that happening again, couldn't we?
We could absolutely do with that, Nigel, and very interesting, isn't it, the fact that we've got two Northwest teams, and I've spent a lot of my time, a lot of my era in football in the Northwest of England. New Macclesfield probably more so than Chester. Having said that, Chester were a league team, always were. Played against them in the FA Cup. I remember back in the day, one of my early games in my career at Bolton Wanderers, and it brings back good memories. I think the northwest of England was just sort of pinching the fact that the northeast used to be the hotbed of football, and the northwest was becoming the hotbed of football when I moved there. Nothing to do with me. It was just Liverpool's, your Everton's, your Man United's, your Man City's, and we were second-class citizens in terms of Chester and Bolton Wanderers, etc., etc. But you had to play a certain way. It was always passionate the way teams played from that neck of the woods, and I don't think anything's changed, to tell you the truth. But I've got a score to settle. I mean, the last time I played against Chester was my last game at Kidderminster Harriers, and it wasn't the fact that they beat were. I think the writing was on the wall with regards to a couple of things that had happened at the football club, so I'm not for 1 minute blaming Chester or the Chester manager, who I rate very highly. He's a good tactician, he knows the game, he likes to play the right way, but all of that has to be put on the back burner as far as we're concerned. I think we're fighting for our lives at the moment, and that's the message. That is the message to the players, that's the message to the supporters, that's the message to the chairman, and we all like a scrap in life. I love a challenge, and I love a scrap, and I don't mind people seeing that. But so long as you're fighting with passion, and you're fighting for the cause, and you're fighting in the right way, Sometimes playing football is the right way to fight, and if we've got to get that right on Saturday, it'll be a game of football to start off with, I'm sure. But weather conditions might play a part. Pims Park might play a part, the fact that we're not bad at home, all of these things might have a say in the matter. But they're a decent side. They're good league form. Got to the playoffs last year. Got beat at the last hurdle, the final hurdle against Scunthorpe. That must have hurt. But there's lots to admire about the way they play. But ours is about rolling the sleeves up and fighting for the cause, and that's what the message is going to be from now to the end of the season.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot going on at Chester. There's a bit of a mixed bag of results lately, but they're sitting in 9th position. Last time out was a 2-1 win at Spennymoor. That's not an easy place to go and get a win, so doing okay. And of course that's where sports started this season off, away at Chester, and we got beat 3-2 after coming back a couple of times. So we were definitely in the game that day, and I think the crowd was about 2,500 that day.
It's a well supported team, Nigel. It's a team that'll probably they'll have travelling supporters regardless of how many there is. They'll make some noise when they come here, but it's not about silencing the supporters, it's about us putting our A game on the table on Saturday in front of the crowd, or not, whichever the case may be, just getting back on track. I think not the wheels have come off, but we've been derailed slightly to a certain extent. There's a couple of incidences, major incidences, the sending off on Saturday just gone of Mark Jones was a telltale factor in the game. We were well and truly, I don't mind any game of football as long as you've got a foothold in it. And that foothold could be a 0-0 draw against Oxford, where first half we should be 2, 3, 4 up. And we're not, it's 0-0, and we managed to get a clean sheet and get a point from the game. Was it a disappointing point? Absolutely. But at the same time, it was a point which is a step in the right direction. But we've got to understand that we can't leave a comeback run too late. We can't. Every game counts. Every point counts. Every game matters from now to the end of the season, whether it be the 21st to go or the last. And that's what we've got to emphasise and drill into the players in training sessions on a Tuesday and Thursday night. They've got to understand that they're not coming here to mess around and play happy, clappy football. They're coming here to do a job, and they're coming here for a purpose, and that purpose is to make sure that we don't get relegated. And I'm saying that horrible word, relegated, because that's where we are. We're in a relegation fight. We were in a comeback fight about probably 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. It was a comeback fight, but now all of a sudden we're back in that relegation fight because of current form, and we have to arrest that situation. We've got, I think, key players. I didn't realise this at the time when I first came to the football club, but Charlie Hickenbottom is a key player, and he's coming back after a 3-month layoff, and he played a little bit of a part in the game on Saturday. I've just had a word with him. He's first through the door tonight. He's taken a claim for the play on Saturday, and fantastic. The lad can play centre back, the lad can play full back, the lad can play centre midfield. So we've got a nice option coming back. Ben Beresford, the second one that's in the training ground. He's another one that's he might play some part in the game on Saturday. Start, I'm not too sure, but he might play some part in the game. So we've got 1 or 2 coming back from injury, and 1 or 2 that haven't been playing of late that might have a say in the matter on Saturday, and that's all I want. I want people to go out on Saturday, cross that white line and cross it with a purpose, and that purpose is to try and win the game against Chester.
It was certainly good to see Charlie and Ben just walk through the door a few minutes ago, and it's players like that I think we need back in the team, isn't it? We need to score some goals. I think we're in definite shortage of goals recently since that Bedford and Radcliffe double header where we scored 6 in 2 games. We haven't really done that. Luke is getting his fair share. Shaq can't seem to buy a goal at the minute, and you've hinted to him being injured, and now Mark Jones suspended again. So it's good that Ben is coming back. What about Max Booth?
Yeah,
potentially
another
more
one.
Minutes for Max.
Listen, as far as we're concerned, we're trying to bring players in. The chairman's doing everything he can to get the finances together to extend the budget, as it were, to spend a bit of money if necessary on a transfer fee, if necessary on bigger wages if necessary, but just to bring somebody in with a bit of substance that can lead the line, and not get red carded. And I'm not being disrespectful of Mark Jones here, but that's his 2nd red card this season, and sometimes you can tread a fine line, but once you step over that line and you get red carded, I think it's a 4-game ban this time, so it's more or less a write-off for the season. As far as I'm concerned, that's not contribution. That's going the other way. What I want to see is players that are committed to the cause run through a brick wall, and if that falls foul of the officials, then so be it. I believe I've got a suspension on Saturday, so I'm not leading by example with regards to opening my mouth or closing my mouth. The officials felt like that I stepped over the mark on Saturday, and in no way, shape or form was that the case. And anyway, enough said about that. The bottom line is I want people to show whoever comes to the game, that to the supporters, to the chairman, to the owners, to me, the backroom staff, I want them to show everybody that they want to play, and they want to win, and they want to survive this year. They want to stay in this division, if not higher. And that's all I want. That's all I'm demanding. And I'll demand it again tonight. They'll have a day off tomorrow, which is not my normal plan of attack with regards to preparation, but a day off tomorrow, and then get here on Saturday with a game plan. Hopefully that'll cause Chester a problem.
So is it just a 1-game ban for you on Saturday then? So
I'm not even sure what it is, Nigel. I know it's a touchline ban. Does that mean I can't? I mean, I could stand anywhere in this ground and be able to get information on the pitch. So I don't understand it, to tell you the truth. But I'm not allowed to be in the dugout. I'm allowed in the change room at half time. I'm allowed in the change room at the end of the game. So it's a touchline ban. It's almost a statement of I'm going to say intent, but is there such a word as unintent? It's a statement to the officials that they're in charge. Okay. Get on with it.
Well, we won't go there. So let's talk about some of those players that are still out there. And Sam Brown, any word on Sam?
Sam's hopefully going to train tonight. Been missing him. He's a bubbly character and he's a lovely lad. And since his injury on AstroTurf, again it has to be said, Marcel Oakley, AstroTurf injury on Saturday just gone. Sometimes it can be in the mind to a certain extent, but when you've got a history of injury, and all Sam Strone-Brown's, he's already got a little bit of a history of injury. Which doesn't bode well, to tell you the truth, the amount of energy he puts into a game of football. But he's hopefully going to bounce through the doors tonight and stake a claim for starting the game on Saturday. But he's been out for a number of weeks now, and I just want to see what kind of a character comes through the door. If it's a bubbly character, he might play on Saturday. If it's not so bubbly, he might need to build up that effervescence, that kind of mentality that he brings to the party, because he can run for England. And we need that kind of mentality with and without the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to mention Marcel limped out of the game on Saturday at Merthyr.
Big change. It was a massive change in the whole psyche of the game. I think that moment where Marcel's come out, do I replace him with a fullback or a wing back or a winger? And I put Kane Felix on, and I think the first thing Kane did was take the game into the final third and got a corner, and I thought, here we go, that's a good marker. But probably spent the next 15-20 minutes trying to defend the back post, and it's not Kane's game at all. He's a winger, he wants to go forward, he needs a fullback behind him. So consequently losing Marcel, he didn't train on Tuesday night. Fingers crossed he'll do something tonight, because I like to see them on the training ground on a Thursday if they've got any chance of playing on a Saturday. So fingers crossed. Marcel's been one of our most consistent players. He'll be staking a claim for a game on Saturday. I believe their threat lies in the wings. I believe their threat lies in the number 10, the system that they play. So we have to be about our mettle defensively, and I've just been talking about young lads. We've got to have one or two experienced lads out there that know their way around the pitch, and hopefully that blend of youth and experience will be there for everybody to see on Saturday.
And if Marcel doesn't make it at the weekend, more minutes for Muzza maybe?
Possibly. We've also got Zach on loan, who's played fullback. We've also got Benji Mensah, who can play fullback or wing back or whatever system I decide to choose. And it's been part and parcel of training on Tuesday, and training tonight will be. So it'll be a big part in the tactical side of the game on Saturday for sure. But personally, we want to try and get our best team out from now at the end of the season. And I know it's hard to do that, but one or two changes because we're winning games of football is not the end of the world. If we're winning games of football, I'd love to be able to say same team, and I haven't been able to do that too often. And that's the hard part at this level, because people lose belief, they lose confidence in their own ability, and there's nothing to worry about. It's a game of football. We've got to try and take on a better side. League table tells you they're better than us. We're going to try and take on a better side, which we've proved many times this season that we can beat the better teams. So bring it on.
And that's an issue as well with a big squad like Sports have got, isn't it? Keeping everybody happy, which you've had that problem as well, haven't you?
I don't mind that kind of problem. I just want people to understand that when they get the shirt, it's up to them to keep it. That makes my job very easily, and there's not many been doing that. We've just been talking about Marcel Oakley. He certainly has. He's set an example. Like he started as a right back, right wing back, whatever you want to call it, and he's kept his shirt all the way through with a level of consistency and a level of performance that I've been delighted with. We probably need 7 or 8 of them in the team week in and week out, and you've got a chance of surviving. You've certainly got a chance of winning games, that's for sure.